we are so busy chasing the new that we have forgotten what makes the new possible. There's an ancient Sanskrit concept that can guide us back. Dhara. It means digest and advance. To take what you inherit and make it flourish. I saw this growing up in an Orthodox Hindu family in rural South India. When our temples aged, we revived them, rekindling their wisdom for the future. The consecration rituals lasted days. Holy waters over the crowns, fire altars, offerings of spices, grains, honey, sandal paste, all with chants and prayers. In the Hindu Trinity, Brahma creates, Shiva destroys, but Vishnu preserves, making things last. Looking back, this was my first lesson in engineering, because engineering at its core is dhara. Digest what you inherit, advance what you sustain. It's the pulse of humanity hidden in the everyday. Early in my career, I worked in power plants, checking circuit breakers, balancing rotors, even dusting switchgear. At a control valve company, I hunted for leaks and vibrations. Then came a sweeter assignment, literally. At a confectionery plant, I tuned controllers to keep candy crisp and toffee smooth. Yep, I sampled some. Quality control, of course. But the stakes weren't always so sweet. At a medical device firm, I worked on cardiac catheters, pencil-thin lifelines for surgeons. Clean room protocols demanded accuracy and accountability, no room for error. Testing, tuning, checking, over and over showed me that engineering, like life, is mostly unglamorous. And that's where a column, a cantilever, a cathedral, a civilization stands or succumbs. We are obsessed with innovation. It's everywhere. Pitch decks, product launches, even middle school science fairs. Disruption is our darling. Here's the twist. The word innovation is from a Latin root, which means to renew. Precisely what maintenance does. Yet, we have sidelined maintenance. Lexical trends over the past 50 years show that the word is practically vanishing from our vocabulary. Even engineers run around chasing the innovator badge. But most of them are the unsung heroes in operations and maintenance. They don't disrupt, they prevent disruption. One thing I've learned over the years is the best engineering is invisible. It's when nothing goes wrong. We fail not for the lack of innovation. We fail when we neglect maintenance. We lure young engineers with the visions of viral apps and Silicon Valley stardom, with breakthroughs and billion-dollar exits. Change the world, we shout. Disruption is dazzling. But that's where, when you reward speed over stewardship, you lose the soul of engineering. Disillusionment sets in. We need to ask if that's real engineering. The problem isn't that engineering lacks excitement. The problem is we have forgotten what anchors it. Caring for systems with intent and integrity. Our obsession with innovation is actually breaking innovation. See the paradox? When we relentlessly pursue the next and neglect the necessary, we undermine both. Ancient engineers knew better. 4,000 years ago, my ancestors built Mohenjo-daro, a Bronze Age metropolis in the Indus Valley of Western India in present-day Pakistan. Nicknamed the Mound of the Dead, it was alive with ingenuity. They mastered food production, grid town planning, urban drainage with astonishing foresight. Sediment traps and covered sewers were all built for stability and serviceability. In our age of AI, we overlook the other AI, ancient intelligence. For lasting wisdom, we shouldn't be looking just to Silicon Valley. We should look to Indus Valley and all the Indus valleys around us unseen, the places and the people who uphold what matters. Maintenance is safety. Maintenance is trust. Today, cloud networks, power networks, cell phone networks all often reach 5 nines availability. That is 99.999% uptime. Only 5 minutes of downtime a year. Only 5 minutes of downtime a year. Some push for 9 nines, losing mere milliseconds. These systems run fault-free for years, unnoticed, until they fail. Maintenance isn't menial. Maintenance isn't monotonous. Maintenance is life. It's larger than life. In Rome, you'll see long lines outside the Vatican, people chasing the divine for Instagram. Just a few steps away by the Tiber, I bumped into something just as sacred, the Cloaca Maxima. Quiet, no crowds, no selfies, just an arch murmuring with running water, and a homeless man I may have startled. The sewer, the greatest sewer built over 2,000 years ago, drained a swamp that created the Roman Forum, the center of civic life. Sanitation is birth and rebirth. It makes the Vatican's gardens bloom. It makes its air conditioning work. It makes its toilets flush. Sanitation separates excreta from elixir and ensuring that they stay separate and don't mix en route. This miracle work, this blessing, is as glorious as the Sistine Chapel. If we truly understood the value of maintenance, we'd be holding weddings outside water treatment plants. Maintenance requires courage, 3 kinds, and we must do better. First, cultural courage, choosing what works over what's flashy, but we're hooked on hype. Second, moral courage, building for people you'll never meet, but we have forgotten who we serve. Third, financial courage. Obviously, investing now to prevent tomorrow's disasters. But we are penny-wise and civilization foolish. Courage isn't conquest. Courage is continuity. Without it, consequences unravel. David Foster Wallace once said, actual heroism receives no ovation. It entertains no one. No one queues up to see it. No one's interested. That's what keeps the world going. Balancing rotors, tuning controllers, following clean room protocols. That's dhara. Digest, maintain, and advance. That's the courage to care. The essence of engineering we must recognize and reclaim. So, who keeps your world running? Let's honor them. Let's start by seeing them. Thank you.